Okay, so let's start today's section. Uh, Hello, everyone. I'm Owen, and we are happy to invite Sebastian from Wahtari to join us as a co-host.
Hello.
Yeah. In next slide, we will give an introduction about ourselves. Today, we are going to talk about smart camera and how it can leverage deep learning to bring unlimited kinds of computer vision application to your business case. A recorded version and the slides of this webinar will be available later. And we will reserve 5 to 10 minutes for Q&A after our presentation. So if you think of some question, you can just type into the QA box, then we will pick up and answer it. During the webinar, we will give 5 polls since we would like to take it as a reference while developing our future solutions. And welcome to those who just joined. So let's get the ball rolling. Short introduction about myself. I'm Owen, and I'm the product solution manager of AAEON. I'm mainly responsible for seeking interesting applications and collaborating with partners to bring sophisticated solutions to the business world. That's how we met and worked with Wahtari to create smart camera solution based on our Up products. Up is a brand founded by AAEON, and the Up team aims to work with market leaders in different vertical markets to bring innovation in technology, integrated solutions, and build a large online community to work closely with developers. And we are pleased to have Sebastian join today, and I will give the floor to him for introduction. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much, Owen.
Yeah.
So also a warm welcome from all of us here at Wahtari and from myself. My name is Sebastian. I'm one of the co-founders of Wahtari, and I'm mainly responsible for the software part here at Wahtari and everything concerning deep learning, so to say. And I myself have been a software engineer my whole life, and I studied computer science at the University in Munich. And then through Wahtari and this project, I came to the topics of artificial intelligence and deep learning and how to efficiently provide this on the edge, both soft and hardware stacks. And that's what we will talk about today.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Sebastian. Okay, so let's start on our topic. So global smart camera market was valued at $4.61 billion in 2018, and is projected to reach $9.17 billion by 2026. Why is smart camera getting more and more popular in the market recently? The ability to capture and process images within smart camera means that you don't need an external PC to enable localized decision making, so that you can have a smaller system footprints to further streamline your machine vision systems. Besides, the modular design and great customizations allow you to get a versatile platform for different kinds of machine vision tasks within a compact sized device. It sounds fantastic to get such an amazing stuff, but it's not easy to build it from the beginning. What challenges will you face while building smart camera? In hardware-wise, it's definitely painful to find out that essential component of your ongoing project is going to end of life soon, or you find out there's an interesting project, but you need to upgrade inferencing power or add connectivity to fulfill the project requirement, and you don't have such scalability or expandability built within your solution. And for software-wise, when you start your AI project, you might think of what knowledge you need to have to deal with the complicated data set. Which AI frameworks should you use to train your AI model to get better performance? And how much time you need to put within the training process to get an optimized model? From this slide, I think you may get a rough idea regarding to benefits, challenges, and the trends of the smart camera. Here, I will release the first poll to see how many ongoing projects is happening now. So please help to find some time to fill in. It's an easy one. I think, Sebastian, you can see the poll question, right?
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, okay. Since there are half of audience already have an ongoing smart camera or machine vision project. Yeah. So let's wait for 15 more seconds, then we move on. Okay. Now let's find out why AAEON app solution is the best choice as a foundation to build your solution. Later, Sebastian will add on more on how they can help for the software part. We summarize these points based on Wahtari's experience while developing their smart camera. In general, app provides an end-to-end platform with only one vendor, which is Intel, to cover the core components from CPU, VPU to OpenVINO toolkits for your project development. Plus the expandability, scalability provided from app and the clear longevity plan from Intel, we provide a perfect foundation with flexibility to start your project and allows for long-term deployment. Let's dive deeper for app product lines. We all know there isn't one size fits for all solutions. So as you can see here, we provide products with different form factor and expansion interface to fulfill different kinds of project requirements, such as if you need Wi-Fi or you need Bluetooth, LTE connection, or even you need more inferencing power. And from the app product line will provide different kinds of carryables or expandable modules to fulfill this kind of request. From the boards based on Intel AAEON CPU to Core i 8th generation processor, we provide clear longevity policy that is aligned with Intel, so that you don't need to worry that your hardware platform will be disappear in the middle of your development. So this is our Vision Accelerator product line. Some of you may be already familiar with our existing modules based on Intel Myriad X VPU. We provide expandable modules with different quantities of Intel VPU inside. We have mini PCIe card for 1 Myriad X, N.2 for 2, Vision Plus card for 3, and we even have PCIe by 4 interface for 4 and 8 Myriad X. Then we also plan Intel's latest VPU called Kinbei into our product roadmap. Kinbei's performance is 7 times or even up to 10 times better than Myriad X, depends on different skills from Kinbei. We design N.2 card, Vision Plus card, and the PCIe card for this Kinbei accelerator module. As I mentioned before, there's no one size fits for all solution. For smart camera, it requires compact size. In such case, our computer and module up-core series products is a perfect fit since it can leverage multiple choices of carryables to give you the flexibility to expand your solution. Also, you can leverage the Vision Accelerator I mentioned before to give you the AI inferencing power into this solution. So that's why Wahtari selects UpCore series as a foundation to build their neural camera. They leverage UpCore to build their first generation neural camera called Wahtari nCam Core. And then they are building the upgraded version based on UpCore Plus called Wahtari nCam Plus. And this upgrade version will be available within next few months. Yeah. In this slide, I will talk about how we and Wahtari built neural camera together. From Up, we provide the UpCore carrier and the Up AI Core X for inferencing. From Wahtari, they help to integrate all the stuffs together with the camera module and the custom PCB to supply power to whole camera system. Then you can get the Wahtari Neural Camera and leverage the power of Wahtari Neural Lab is their end-to-end AI training platform. You can have a camera integrated with OpenVINO, which enables the optimized resource allocation among CPU, GPU, and the VPU. Besides, the Onyx framework can allow you to migrate your AI models from different frameworks. So from next slide, you may wonder why I mentioning neural camera for the solution we built together. From next slide, Sebastian will take you explore the reason and the strengths of this integrated solution. So I will pass the ball to Sebastian. Yeah.
Thank you, Owen. So we heard from Owen now a lot about the hardware that you need in order to bring AI to the edge and to fulfill computer vision tasks. And about these computer vision tasks, I want to start now. So what can you do actually with AI on the edge, and what is solvable now, which was not doable with the traditional algorithms we used in the past? So we at Wahtari mainly have these three areas right now: quality control, ANPR, so the license plate recognition of cars, and also, for example, PPE and people detection. So in these areas, we could make great advances using AI, especially, for example, in the quality control area, where it's now possible to detect changes in colors of products, for example, which is a really, really difficult task using traditional algorithms. And well, also regarding the current COVID-19 crisis, it's also, we experimented a lot with medical images and the analysis of such to, for example, gather information about the blood cells and detect such diseases in an early stage. And yeah, there's a lot of different things you can now do with AI. And we ourselves at Wahtari learn every day a new use case, so to say, so there's millions of them out there. Okay, next slide, please.
Okay, after this slide, I will release the poll question.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. And then we should wait for around maybe 1 minute to let the audience to finish the poll. Yeah. Yeah, I think most of audience already answered a question, so let's move on.
All right.
Yeah.
So after seeing the use cases now, I want to introduce the Wahtari nCam or Neural Cam that we built together with AAEON hardware. So what we experienced when we entered the market of computer vision with AI was that there was no suitable camera out there that could efficiently execute these AI models. And so we built one ourselves. And for us, it was important that the camera is really flexible. So we approached a modular design where you can easily exchange components according to your needs. So for example, for ANPR, we use lower resolution image sensors compared to the quality control sector where we use higher resolution ones. So depending on the application, we can modify our smart camera. And all of the components that you need in order to inference the AI model on the edge are included in the smart cam. So in our nCam, there's no connection necessary to a cloud service or something like that. All the processing happens inside the camera. And it has such a small form factor that it's very easy to integrate it into any kind of housing. So here on this slide, for example, you can see our typical ANPR housing. Okay. Then to the specifications of our camera. So this is just an example configuration you see here. And that's for, I think, one of our ANPR cameras, for example. And so there's various different things here. The main key point to take away here is, in my opinion, these are just example configurations, and due to the modularity I just mentioned, pretty much anything here can be adjusted to your needs. So if you say, okay, this resolution doesn't yeah, I need more resolution than that for my application, that's no problem. We can simply swap out the image sensor and all the core components can stay the same. Or if you say, oh, we need more performance, then for example, we have upcoming the nCam Plus, as Owen already mentioned, with up to 3 Myriad X chips. And later on this year, when Kim Bay is finally released and we can incorporate it into the camera, then we have, so to say, unlimited performance here.
Yeah.
Okay, then next.
Okay. After this one, I will launch the third poll.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. All right, I think half of our audience already answered it. So
All
let's
right.
move on. Yeah.
Then let's continue.
Sure.
We look now at most of the hardware of the nCam, but we at Wahtari, we realized one thing. It's not enough to just develop some piece of hardware and expect all the customers to build the software they need for AI themselves. So a lot of industry partners out there, they want one finished solution they can simply use and incorporate into their production line. So we at Wahtari also provide all the software needed in order to inference the AI on the edge. That includes, for example, a custom Linux-based operating system that runs on the camera, and it allows you to simply upload your own model there. And we don't only support classification, but also object detection, for example, with ANPR, but also segmentation models, where you can really define certain areas on images that you want to detect. And you can, for example, do area calculations from that. And in Wahtari, we also support various different frameworks. So of course, there are the traditional ones like TensorFlow, Darknet, Caffe, PyTorch, you name it. And what they used to do, or what they still do, is output a lot of their models in the proprietary format, depending on the platform. But with the Owen and X framework now, it's really easy to output one standard model from all of these frameworks that you can simply then upload to the camera. So it's no longer restricted to just 1 or 2 frameworks, but you can, as long as the framework supports Owen and X, you can use the framework that you want. For us, it was also very important to have end-to-end encryption on our camera. So security plays a huge role, and all of our software and hardware components, we strive to make them as secure as possible, because there are a lot of cameras out there that you can buy off the shelf, which they don't really enforce any kind of security and are can easily be hacked, and that's just not acceptable in our area. And as last, we have also our Vision UI that we provide with the Smart Cam. So it allows you to upload the Owen and X model, and then you can also see the results that the camera detects. And on the next slide now, we can see an example video of that. Here you can see a model of vision that was detected that was trained to detect cookies. And here, for example, we have one with the PPE example. And all of this inferencing you see here is done on the camera itself. So for such a small camera, the performance is quite astonishing. And the use cases there are various use cases that you can train a model for and apply it on the camera. Okay, then we can head on to the next slide. Which brings us to kind of our end-to-end pipeline, Wahtari nLab, we call that. Because right now we have talked about the neural cam and the software stack we need to do the inference on the AI. But in order to really use AI, so you have an idea that you want to recognize some things on images, to the final product where you have an actual camera that can be used for this application, there are a huge number of steps you have to do. And again, we want to provide a solution that is easy for the customer and where he has to do as little work as possible. That means if a customer comes to us, we can discuss the initial situation of the customer. And if necessary, we can then capture images of the use case. And from there on, Wahtari basically does all the work for you. From the AI model preparation, that means labeling all the data, gathering the results, and ensuring also the quality of the labeled data set, to the actual model training, which is done in our cloud. Here we use various different frameworks, as already mentioned before, and simply choose the best one by benchmarking the AI model at the end. This allows us to try different things during the training for the use case of the customer and only use the best AI model for his task. Then we output it, for example, in ONNX format, or some proprietary formats are still supported, like TensorFlow. This is natively supported on the CAM. And on the Neural Cam, you can then load the AI model and do the inference of the AI model, and finally build an application that leverages the power now of AI. Yeah, this is a rough overview. And now we go into more detail about nLab. So nLab, we call it Neural Lab, and it's a user-friendly end-to-end deep learning platform. End-to-end because you come with images to us, and nLab outputs a ready-to-use AI model that you can upload to the nCam. That's why we call it end-to-end. And we do all of the deep learning cycle, all the steps that you need to do are covered by nLab. A special thing about it is that we have an AI that supports you already during the labeling. That means, for example, let's take the use case of labeling license plates of cars. After you have labeled, for example, 50 or 100 images, nLab already performs a training task in the background. And once that's done, it will upload the AI model to the labeling service. And the labeling service can then help you during the labeling. That means the images before you get them will already be analyzed by the AI. And if it detects a box, that box will already be drawn there, greatly reducing the amount of work you have to do yourself. And as we already mentioned, we support all of the common frameworks. We do the automatic benchmarking to choose which one is the best. And it then neatly fits with the nCam by outputting a model that is already compliant and compatible with the nCam. Okay, and here I think we have our last poll question.
Yeah. So I already launched it. All right, so I think we can move on to next slide.
All right. So Owen, do you want to wrap up, or should
Yeah. I can do the wrap up, and if I miss anything, you just add on it. It's no problem. Thanks for Sebastian detailed explanation regarding to neural camera and the neural lab and the pipeline of it, which is very useful tool to help developer or the business to streamline their process to get a useful smart camera solution. So in conclusion, UP provides a good starting point for development of project. And the combine the expertise of Wahtari, such as their Neural Lab AI training platform or their software support and their knowledge in the AI area, including the labeling and the other essential tasks, we can turn a hardware platform into an all-in-one and integrated AI solution. And it comes with different kinds of application, like Sebastian just mentioned before, license plate recognition or quality control or personal protective equipment detection, etc. And together, AAEON and Wahtari will provide everything you need to start your AI project. Yeah.
Perfect. I have nothing to add here.
Yeah. So Next slide, I want to share some good news with you. We collaborate with Wahtari and we provide a proof of concept campaign based on Wahtari first generation neural camera. And it would include Wahtari neural camera and with the customized AI models based on your business case. And it can achieve 95% accuracy rate. If you need higher, and after POC, we can discuss based on your requirement and to optimize it. And we can deliver this POC campaign package within 14 days. And the price is at $2,000 US. So contact us if you are interested. So I think that's the end of our presentation. And now it's the Q&A time. Thank you for joining the webinar. And if you have any question, just type in the Q&A box, and Sebastian and I can see it and help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, should we start? We start from the top, right? Okay, there was one person who could hardly hear us. Audio's to maximum. I'm sorry that we just read it now.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't saw it. But I think I can hear Sebastian well, and maybe we should optimize the setting next time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, then another question. What OS options do we have? So if you mean the nCam, Wahtari nCam, basically you can, of course, use the OS it already comes with. But if you want to do totally your own stuff, you are free to upload any OS that you want. So you could apply a Windows or Linux-based distribution, for example. Of course, then you have to do most of the work yourself, meaning talking with the VPU chip over OpenVINO, loading the model, do the video encoding and all this stuff. But basically, if you want, you have all the freedom.
Okay. And next one is what are CPU and the GPU requirements to couple with the VPU? Also, can you discuss the task divisions between them?
Mm-hmm. If you want, I can also answer that one.
Yeah.
So basically the requirements for CPU, GPU to couple with a VPU, you don't need a specific CPU type in order to talk with a VPU. So it's more like which kind of software stack you're using. So with OpenVINO, for example, you can mainly talk to the Myriad X chip. But there are also, of course, the system on a chip designs from NVIDIA. So the libraries are different. But the second part of your question is very interesting, where you're asking, can you discuss the task divisions between them? Basically, what we do is also a very optimized version here already. The CPU is mainly handling the data fetching from the video stream, and so from the image sensor, and it will send it to the VPU over the OpenVINO framework in order to do the inferencing. And once we get the results back, and you want, for example, to see a video stream live on your computer over the Vision UI application, we are using the integrated GPU then to do most of the heavy lifting with the video encoding, for example. So what we have seen when deploying our camera, for example, with ANPR, is a good usage across all of these chips. So we're leveraging everything that we can. Okay. And next question.
The next one is can the camera work in adverse light conditions for ADAS? Yeah, it's like a driving assistant.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, assistive system. Yeah.
So basically, of course, a car is a more specialized environment, I have to say. So surely there would be the need to customize the camera a little bit in order to fit it to the requirements that a car can offer. But regarding the light conditions, that's something that mostly depends on what kind of AI model you use. For example, if you have a training set with images from various different lighting scenarios, so from night vision, from daytime and nighttime, Then you get an AI model, usually, which is very sophisticated and can operate well in various lighting conditions. That was our experience when working with ANPR. With traditional algorithms, it was a pain to find, for example, the license plate when there was absolutely no light and you could just see the reflection of the plate. But with AI, it's really easy now to do that. And then we have a last question. The solution of identify personal protective equipment is a complete solution ready to use? Yes, this is something we have already done as a proof of concept. And so if you are interested in such a solution, you can simply reach out to us and we can discuss details. But we can basically already deliver cameras that come with such models. Okay.
And next one is from Philip. Is it possible to connect many units in a wireless mesh network and run an AI model which uses data capture from multiple units and share those models automatically between units, like detecting pattern in traffic across different locations? Is there a infrared camera available? I think it's infrared, right?
Yes, okay. Yeah. Infrared, yes, of course. As we said, modular design. So if you, for example, need a special infrared sensor, that's possible. I think we already also have one included. And okay, so the first question is more, can you do, can you connect multiple cameras at various locations together? Out of the box, we don't yet have a wireless mesh network, but of course you could collect all the data from these different points and collect them at one central server location if you want that. But you can also, since we don't do all the inferencing of the cameras on the edge, all of the cameras themselves could analyze the traffic and just send the results, which have a very, very small data size, over the wireless networks to a central server unit, for example. And there you could do the more meta-analysis of all this information. So detecting on, for example, output of 4 cameras at this cross-section, you could then calculate, okay, the traffic is right now at 50%. Maybe we can change the setting of the traffic lights, for example. But out of the box, wireless mesh networks are not yet supported. But if that's a need that you need, then it's definitely possible to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, then does cams are IP67 standard? This basically is only dependent on the housing you want. And for some customers in the quality control area, we have already done housings with IP67 standard. So if you want it, it's possible. Yes, definitely. Okay, then we have also, can I use this module with multiple camera for agricultural application? Short answer, yes, it's totally possible. And then we have, which are the major industries you want to target with your solutions? Which certifications did you fulfill? Okay, so for example, I will ask the second question first. Certifications, for example, the encryption standard we use and also the OS have been pen tested by a German company, Secuvera. And the main industries we want to target with our solutions, the ones basically I mentioned in the presentation. So right now it's ANPR, quality control, and PPE detection. But you know, we don't even want to say we're just doing 3 things or 3 areas right now, because the platform and the camera we developed is so versatile that on a daily basis, customers come to us and ask for a specific use case. And it's always a little bit different from customer to customer, of course, but we have not yet found something that we couldn't do. And in the future, we could even think about analyzing audio signals, for example, because you can also visualize them as an image. So you see there's almost no end to which kind of solutions we want. But the main ones are the 3 I mentioned in my presentation.
Okay. So for next one, what are the main advantages of Apple solutions compared to the new NUC solutions from Intel? For this one, I would say we provide a very good supportive infrastructure to the customer or developers. So let's like Wahtari, when Wahtari, Sebastian contacted us in the beginning, we give proactive and informative feedback and discuss based on their requirement to support their smart camera development. So they can have a smooth cycle for development of their smart camera. And we take into consideration for different kinds of use cases. So we have different expandable modules and different interface form factor to fulfill different requirement from the market. So I hope this answer your question. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I would also add to that.
Yeah.
It's basically this versatility, so that you can connect components according to your needs is what is the most appealing thing about app for us. Mm-hmm. And also the form factor. So if we look at the app core, it's really, really, really small. Yeah. And this allowed us to build a smart camera, such powerful smart camera in such a small form factor. Yes, this is a great advantage for us.
Yeah. I think, Sebastian, do you have I think you mentioned in the beginning you want to share, right? For more questions, or we are done here?
No, sorry, they have already been answered.
Okay, got it. Yeah, so I think I didn't see any further questions, so I think that's it. And thanks for Sebastian to join, and thanks for everyone to. Oh, there's a new one. So
yes, the next one.
Well,
I would also say if anybody has more questions, but you come up with them later, you are invited to contact us. Yeah. So you can also write me an email. It's here on the page right now, Sebastian@Wahtari.io, or you write us on LinkedIn or Twitter. Doesn't matter.
Sure.
I would be happy. Okay. So where can we get more technical information about the Wahtari nCam? Mm-hmm. You can look up on the website, but I think we have not yet all the technical specifications up there. So if you want, you can write me an email, as I said, then we can give you all the specifications we have right now, and they will also soon be available for your convenience on the website then.
Yes.
And are you distributing globally or just Europe? No, we are distributing globally.
Yeah. And regarding to the technical information part, since we also collaborated with Wahtari to create a flyer for the Wahtari camera, like for POC campaign. So after this webinar, we will share by newsletter to everyone join this webinar, and also the mailing list within our database, so you can get the latest information. Then if you have any interest or question, just contact us or Wahtari. We are happy to help on your question. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Then I put it on done. Okay. Then also thank you very much, Owen, for having me.
Yeah, thank you. It's my pleasure. Yeah.
And then I wish everyone a nice day.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So,
thank you.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.